Welcome to the Mainly Wrestling, what do we call it, JJ? Premium content podcast playback?
Premium live event reviews from Mainly Wrestling.
That thing. Yeah, I'll let him upload the videos going forward. We're here to look at the Royal Rumble from 1996, where it was another dark day for the World Wrestling Federation as the Heartbreak Kid went back-to-back and won the spoiler alert. Apologies if you haven't seen it 26 years later, but the Heartbreak Kid would be on his way to WrestleMania, where a travesty of justice would take place 2 months later. Lissy, this is yours. This is your favorite Royal Rumble. Explain to us why.
First of all, what the hell, Jack?
First of all, you shut your goddamn mouth.
What sort of intro was that? Let's roll it back. This is 1996. We're right in that new generation era. Lot of, it's a pivotal time in the company. We're not quite in the Attitude Era. Shawn Michaels is on top. Last year he's there. Rest of the guy if we're gonna. Oh my God! Well, he won the Rumble last year, so we're going into it this year. And I remember watching as a kid, and you're like, "There's no way he can't win 2 years in a row." So here we go.
I think the first guy to do it, right? The first guy to win back to back. Don't think it'd be done before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
JJ, JJ, you had a look at the ensemble for the Rumble. Do you want to share us in on a few surprise packages we have in store for us?
Well, look, you got the big names: Owen Hart, the HBK, obviously, the Old Boys, Jake the Snake, and Jerry the King Lawler. Perfect fit for the Royal Rumble, and then some random bloke that I've been told is Barry. So I had no idea who this was.
I must just for the sake of reference, Barry is almost like a very general, like a name for like some northern like working class bloke who does like hard, like a lowly skilled manufacturing job. Good old Barry, he's back down pits again.
Just Google Barry from EastEnders if you've not seen EastEnders, and you'll understand like the look of the kind of
Barry McDermott, who's a rugby league commentator, who's just very, very stereotyped. But yeah, look, I mean, we've got Kamal Mustafa, the fighting machine. But at the time, we're going to look through it. People like, in my head, the 1, 2, 3 kids, very new generation. Mabel, Tatanka, Aldo Montoya. It's a very, very unique time for the World Wrestling Federation. So let's see how we get on. If it's rubbish, we'll blame Lissy. John and I are on the network. We're at 54:37. Lissy, you're on the clock. Let us know what we've got to go to.
If you're on the clock, oh my God, sorry, my laptop is frozen. You're on Royal Rumble season 9. I hate how they do it on seasons. Anyway, season 9, 1996.
And we will click play in 3, 2, 1. And you should see the man alleged to be Shawn Michaels' doctor with vaccines, weirdly enough, in the back on a chalkboard. Okay, Doc.
Just lead. Doc, this is Dr. Unger.
Let's not talk any further about that because we will just create.
Listen, Dr. Unger is a very prestigious doctor, okay? Leave it.
Shows you like the change in the year. 10 years early, 86, when the Horsemen broke Dusty's leg, they went and got the literally top door physician in Charlotte and got him on camera, like playing along with it. Like, oh my God, this must be real serious. Dr. Joseph Pasquale.
Okay.
Keon, what a word from Jerry the King Lawler.
I love him.
It's so weird to think, it's Barry.
Barry, lad.
Look at Barry. Come on. You gonna tell me he wasn't a favorite?
We're not getting any sound through from you, Jack. Well, I'm not anyway.
Yeah.
Cornette has put some timber around this time. I will say about Jim Cornette, right? He was always so well coordinated clothes-wise. Shirt, jacket, and pants tight. There'll be a pocket square probably with a bit of.
Ooh, here he is.
Yeah.
Will you stop? My God, all this sighing. Jesus.
I'm comfortable with my sexuality, but I don't know whether I'd go out with a sequined jacket with mirrors on it. You know what I mean?
Guys, this was his gear. He had to stand out. He's a flamboyant, heartbreaker, sort of, ladies' man. Just leave it alone.
Would you be a heartbreaker by showing them what they look like through your outfit? Surely you want to deflect it onto yourself. I'm that good looking. I'm going to show you what you look like. Didn't make sense to me.
But he's always looking in a mirror, so the mirror then reflects back onto him, back to the mirror. It's just.
But he's projected an image of a narcissist.
Yeah, it's
forever. That's a baby face. What is actually happening?
But look, if you're actually good in the ring and on the mic, you don't need to wear this kind of outrageous outfit. Look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, black trunks, bald head, straight out there. Just did the job, but I guess Shawn wasn't good enough, needed a little bit extra pizzazz, I get what you're saying, Lissy. I
and in the words of this, I mean, oh my God.
This is just too much.
You guys!
I mean, Ric Flair just tied some boots, right? And he broke the wrestling world 30 years ago yesterday. You can see that on our channel right now.
So Triple H
lost. Produced. It should be up by then. It's fine.
Triple H lost in the pre-show to that Duke the Dumpster Droese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so Duke comes in at 30, I think, and Hunter comes in at first.
So Duke the Dumpster Droese, this was at a time when everyone had to have an occupation as well as because you can't just be a wrestler. Like Diesel's a truck driver. Duke Droese is a... What would you call it in America? We just call them bin men.
Vince doesn't pay well enough to just wrestle.
Oh my God. I hated the Godwins.
It's waste management. That's what we call it here.
I used to hate the Godwins because, again, my era as a kid, 96, 97, 55, they'd be on every pay-per-view. And I just don't get it. Hillbilly's a big deal in America, or...
You know what? We made a big deal out of the fact that the 92 Rumble was just absolutely rammed full of superstars. Like this, I feel like this Royal Rumble will be the complete opposite of that. Just shows how much they fell in 4 years.
Okay.
And then 2 years later, they're like top of the world. So.
Even by 93, like the middle of 93, you look at that Rumble, Sid had left, he gone to WCW, Hogan had left, Slaughter, Flair had gone back to WCW. I think Savage had retired. A lot of pretty much half the roster had finished. Davey Boy was in WCW as well. So it was just a massive shift. And they really took, realistically, 5 years to build a new roster.
Yeah.
Which is what you presume they're going to try and do now with NXT. But yeah, look, if you see how, there's a lot of empty seats as well, you see how buzzing the crowd was for the start of the 92 Rumble. And now this has kind of just started with, I don't know, just no fanfare.
Well,
I mean, it's a bit, I suppose we don't have Jack 20 here that really sells the enormous.
I'm just waiting for you guys to stop bashing this poor event. They were just doing their best.
I want to just give it a chance.
True.
Yeah, give it a goddamn.
How many guys have asked you for a chance, Lissy? You've just flatly refused, though. So I mean, it's full circle.
Do you have a knife?
I have a spoon. You've played knife and spooning before.
No, honestly, stay out my DM.
JJ, how many people have you given a chance in the last few weeks? With 20 days into 2022.
I don't understand the question.
You probably don't need to.
I am an almost married man. I don't give people chances.
You give karaoke a chance last night. Let us know you got on.
Gave karaoke a chance.
You know what, JJ? If the career doesn't work out, you definitely have a future in karaoke. I see that.
Doesn't pay that well, I've found.
Here comes the president.
Had to pay for beer. Didn't get anything for my singing, so.
It's okay. Practice makes perfect. So
I'm already perfect. It doesn't pay.
So, point of reference, Bob Backlund came back to the WWF in 95. Late 94, he he beat Bret Hart for the title, who he then loses it to Diesel 5 days later. But he was the guy for the WWF in the 80s. He held the World Wrestling Federation Championship for 4 years between, like, say, 1883. So it's so weird to see him come back as a crazy guy 12 years later pretending to be the president.
Well, that just kind of tells you, like, not that they were desperate, but they just didn't really have like a ton of direction either. Like that was like such a surprise for Backlund to come back after being away for, I don't know, almost 10 years at that time. And then just kind of being that transitional champ between Bret and Diesel, right?
PWI Wrestler of the Year, 1980, 1982. What is he doing in the ring right now? Oh, thumb to the eye, that dastardly Helmsley.
What a terrible guy.
And this is set in, where is the 96 Rumble set? Fresno, California.
Fresno.
Which they've always, Shawn's always got over really well on the East Coast, though. Very well booked venue. Same with these, as we saw yesterday, was the 25th anniversary of the 97 Rumble, where
Fresno is on the West Coast.
Never eat for it to eat. Yeah, I'm useless with
all right.
directions. Thank you, Lissy. Yeah, so same. Yesterday was the 25th anniversary of him beating Sid in the Alamo Dome, which I'm led to believe is a big venue. I've got no idea with American stadiums.
Are you kidding me? The Alamo Dome?
How would I know anything about the Alamo Dome?
You are a wrestling
God. That's JBL.
No, that's definitely JJ.
But when the boy gets old enough, when I'm thinking like when he's like 2 or 3 and I'm beating him up and putting him all these holds, he will think I'm a wrestling god.
I mean, you are the.
What is Jerry wearing? Can we just discuss this, because I've never seen him wear this gear before.
Listen, he was going all out for the Rumble. He was wearing his.
That looks like.
So Bob Holly wanted to like take the kind of the driver gimmick to a new level and like try do some races. And Vince apparently just gave him like a bunch of money.
Oh, they had it. Yeah, they had the team.
To do up a car and everything. And then like something happened. It didn't come to fruition. Like they couldn't do it for whatever reason. And like Vince has spent all this money on this like expensive car that they've done up, like ready for races. And Vince just like, keep it. I don't want it. Like keep the car.
During that era, like 94, I think the expression you used that they were throwing shit against the wall and just hoping something stuck.
Yeah. But I mean, you don't hear a lot of nice stories about Vince, so I thought I'd throw that one out there.
That's a good one. They were just hemorrhaging money sometimes. It's like, why would you think that's a? Well, okay, pause. I mean, you guys don't have? You have your own version of like car racing there. NASCAR is actually very big here, but I don't see it. I don't see it for the type of character that he was, and he was probably in the lower to middle of the mid card. I don't necessarily see.
Like apparently, like he was a decent racer and like knew his cars and stuff, and I think like he'd done some, I don't know, like amateur racing and stuff before, made some money doing that. So they might have thought that if he could have actually got into it, that they would have got a return on his investment.
Here's King Mabel.
Here he is.
I think that was the plan anyway.
Look at us only, you can look. Even Jerry Lawler, both got like looks that they would look like they blend into like Weatherspoon's carpets.
Looks like Viscera, don't you think?
Lissy, have you ever heard of a place called Weatherspoons?
No.
What? You spent time in the UK and you never went to the UK? There's a video out there of like an American woman discovering Weatherspoons, and like I feel like this would be very similar to you if you found it.
Well, no, there's a friend of mine who has a theme going on saying hashtag Katie goes to spoons, and she's trying to hit every Weatherspoons in the north. And it says that there is basically, it's like a cheap, very like cheap and cheerful northern establishment. It's in pretty much every big northern town and city.
It's in every town, though, mate. It's not just the north. Every town centre has one.
To me, it's more so prominent. But they will all have floors and carpets that look like Jerry Lawler's or Mabel's gear. It's that type of.
What were you saying, Lissy?
It was 1996. Like That was the look. People were wearing those stupid windbreakers everywhere. Like, that was the vibe back then.
Do you like the fact Spaggy Plug has got checkered flags down his side just to show you, hey, I'm a race car driver.
He's a race car driver.
I feel like we should just say, since we're touching on Weatherspoons, fuck Tim Martin. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, fuck Tim Martin.
Do we need to get like a list of people JJ wants to say fuck to? The Jay Lethal, Tim Martin.
You know
Bryce Remsburg,
no,
Boris
I
Johnson.
don't think Jay Lethal belongs on that list. I have some energy this morning. Leave the man alone. He shouldn't be on the fuck you list. JJ's just not interested in seeing him in AEW.
I made, like one comment one time, and you guys just fucking spam me with Jay Lethal shit all the time. Instagram, WhatsApp. I can't
He's
escape
40
it.
years old here, and he's Jake the Snake Roberts. 5 years past his prime. 10 years.
I have no interest.
You know what? Actually, Jake was going through a hard time at this time, Jack. So just why don't we have a little bit of sensitivity?
Well, somebody's feeling John Moxley based on that.
I'm very sensitive.
He's trying to say that Jake was going through hard times.
Hard times, baby.
Hard times, daddy.
I actually saw a comment last night was saying Cody went for hard times 2.0 and just completely fell flat on his ass. Do you know why, Cody? Because you're not your dad. Stop it.
Leave it.
Look, I'm sorry, but he says, check the date, check the receipt. I built that forbidden door.
Why can't we just all enjoy the John Moxley promo and not worry about the rest of it, you know? John Moxley's back. He was looking lean. He was looking healthy. He seemed.
I tell you what, somebody put it before and after. It's unreal, like just the blotchiness on his face. Did you, Gigi? You give up drink for a year? I know that's an unfair comparison. Could you see differences in yourself just from?
Yeah, like I was looking a lot skinnier. I mean, the people that have watched this show over the last 2 months. If you go back to anything that we recorded in like July, you'll see a skinnier face than what you see now. But I had a second baby.
You see it?
Hey, hi, 12 viewers. Hey.
What is happening right now? It beats the fucking action in the ring here. This is the shits. Lissy.
Here we go.
I definitely dropped a decent amount of weight in that year.
Is it going to be new year, new JJ?
Well,
right. So,
right?
JJ, this is Dory Funk Jr. Do you know who Dory Funk Jr. is?
Dory Funk Jr. He is the son of Dory Funk Sr.
He is?
Texas legend.
Dory Funk Jr. was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion for around 4 or 5 years in the 70s. He's probably the best wrestler in the world, but in like 1974. He's in the Rumble in 1996.
Here, no?
Was he related to Chainsaw Charlie?
I just said it. He's Terry Funk's brother.
He's Terry Funk's older brother, yeah. They're the only two brothers to be NWA World Heavyweight Champions. But
you can see it, can't you? I mean, you can see the resemblance.
But Dory would open the Funkin' Dojo, which pretty much trained all the guys who came through in the Attitude Era in like 97, 98. So I think Kurt Angle was there, Christian, Edge, Hardy Boyce were there, a few of the guys. Mark Henry went through there as well. But what's he doing in the Rumble in 96?
Well, I mean, look at
He's 55 years old.
You got Hardcore Holly, Viscera, the Hog. The only one that ever made anything of himself after this point was Hunter.
Not the Hog. I can't stand it.
Yeah, Jake Roberts passed his prime. Bob Holly is a race car driver. Bob Backlund was world champion 15 years ago. Dory Funk Jr. world champion 20 years ago. You've got Mabel. Yeah, it's weird. But I suppose this is one of the... Oh, Jerry Lawler's still hiding.
Jenny!
There must be a 15-year-old running around. Will you stop?
Do you think you guys could name the pay-per-view that Hardcore Holly main evented?
Armageddon 2003, Brock Lesnar.
I mean, it wasn't the one that I was thinking of.
All right, okay.
But you might be right. I mean, maybe there was two.
Are you thinking of the ECW one, December to Dismember?
Yeah.
I was going to say...
I don't think he ever made event a pay-per-view. He angled for himself to have a big program with Brock, didn't he? And then... What happens after you? Well, just put the belt on me, and then what, Bob? I just beat everyone. Yeah,
I mean, Armageddon 2003. He was not on the card.
Okay,
So you might be thinking of another one, but he was in the main event of December to Dismember.
I think he had a brief program with Brock. Brock Lesnar broke his neck.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you have any heat with Brock? I mean, look at him. Why would you have heat with him? that can't well. Like Mark Miller talks about saying he found voice messages on Sable's phone, and then found out who it was. Brock. Well, okay, enjoy. Yeah.
He didn't want any of the smoke. He was like, "You can have her, buddy. It's calm."
I'll help tuck you in. Yeah, it's better for me.
This is why Brock and Cuck share some of the same letters.
God, guys. Okay, Yokozuna has entered the chat at his biggest. Look at him.
Man, I thought you were going to start elaborating on what a cuckold was there, but yeah, that's fine.
Nope.
Speaking of which, Yokozuna was married by Jim Cornette here, who is a very renowned swinger, as reported by
Yoko or Jim.
I mean, Yoko might have been. I don't know. But, so it was kind of announced, wasn't it, after Jim Cornette was announcing some of that incorrectly in the Me Too stuff, saying, "Yeah, well, you were doing that," and he just in his podcast he went, "Me and Stacey like to have a little fun in the jacuzzi. That's all. I mean, adults are allowed to have fun. What type of fun would that be, Jim?" Yeah.
What the actual?
Probably just like splashing around, I would imagine. You know,
I can't believe Dory from Junior.
That's a good laugh, man. That's a good time had by all. You know, the bubbles are going. I can't see an issue with that, mate.
Peak New Generation is the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Ain't no way.
Razors has got no time for the kids.
Well, because this is when the kids sold out.
What's the situation with these two now? Have they fallen out of the clique?
The 1, 2, 3 kid had just joined the $1 million stable, I think. Razor had just been in the process of turning babyface. So 1, 2, 3 kid beat Razor in a match, and then they kind of built a friendship. I think they became a tag team. And then the 1, 2, 3 kid would turn heel in late 95.
And he joined the $1 million corporation.
I mean,
I really appreciate that I can just give you any, period of time in wrestling up to about 2001.
2001, I'm gone.
I'll just go, what was this person doing then? Well, story time with Jack Milner, baby.
It's okay. Then I take over for a little bit, and then JJ, you're all caught up in the last 10 years or so, right?
And then like a child who's got bored. Oh yeah. Anyway, what about this guy? But Dad, why did he do that? Well, okay, he's a scaffolder, so it's right, okay. Why do cows have udders? Okay, well that's because
Seba's hit the why phase now.
No.
Occasionally, it's just like why? Why?
Because
I don't think he understands the answers that I'm giving him to the questions, which are actually, well thought through, very intellectual answers.
Oh, by the time you've explained it, his mind's wandered off into another direction.
Just because that's the short answer sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, what is life?
Who's coming?
Veer is coming.
Jim Cornette. If we're based on previous. Anyway, I can't believe how bad this is.
Maury from Japan.
Lissy, you always for this.
First of all, we have to watch all your bullshit from the 80s.
It was Nitro from the mid-90s.
Yeah,
it was a Thunder and it was once.
Oh,
we even had to watch that dreadful episode of Thunder. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and did you put us through maybe a 94, 95 episode of Raw? I mean...
Listen, Almeida, I'm making you famous. You push your gums over there.
Making me famous? I don't want to be famous.
Begging you.
I'm just here to have a good time with my mates. As you guys say, with my mates.
I'm not going to lie, JJ, I've got no idea what that reference is from.
What is happening?
I know that's from you. But I'm begging you, please make me famous.
No, I literally meant like, what is happening?
Was it not DDP when he was feuding with The Undertaker?
Oh my God, he was creepy with DDP.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is, again, that's 2002, right? I've checked out by then.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
I saw the writing on the wall. About,
Stalker DDP. Those were dark times.
To be honest, I did check out for a bit after the invasion, but then then ended up getting back into it.
Okay, so when I went to uni, I actually went and I bought like the books about the death of WCW and WrestleCrap. And there's a good book that detailed the brand split and basically how bad all those pay-per-views were, like Raw and SmackDown exclusive stuff, because they were putting guys on there who really had no right to a pay-per-view. So I kind of caught up on it, but I just remember thinking, like, wow, I really haven't missed anything in, say, 4 years. And yet they were still making money hand over fist. Like, that is such an established brand. They can't fail. Yeah, exactly.
They still are now, and it's fucking awful.
I thought you were turned around.
What? Me?
Yeah.
I literally, I mean, I've not watched.
Your man Chad Gable's a champion now. All's good in the world.
I go on YouTube and I watch like Chad Gable matches and promos. Like what I just go on like what happened on Raw last night? Oh, Chad Gable had a promo in the ring with Otis and he was interrupted by Randy Orton and they were made to look stupid, and I cry a little bit because he's actually good on the mic. And if there's a match, I'll watch it because it's always great because he's amazing. And that's it. That's about all I see of WWE these days.
Brian Alvarez put the segment over saying Chad Gable's great, but still, why is he doing this?
My goal is for Chad Gable to know that JJ is his biggest fan.
That's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream.
I mean, I don't think it's unattainable.
We've missed Savio Vega. How is Dory from Junior still there? Oh, man. The Japanese guy I've never heard of has been eliminated. Who the hell is Takoa Amore?
Savio Vega didn't have an occupation. He was
a Boricua. He had that side hustle, you know.
That's not a job.
Boricua. So they make coffee?
Oh, sorry, gosh.
Barista.
What's that, a Boricua? Are they from South London? Will you stop?
Oh my Lord!
So these are you guys. These are you guys.
Could always throw a nice like spinning heel kick.
These are you guys are wondering what to buy me for Valentine's Day. Alpha Academy, all over it. It's so sad. Chad Gable doesn't even have his own shirt. You know, he's never had his own shirt in WWE.
No.
He's had American Alpha, Alpha Academy. Give him a shirt. It's graceful.
Oh.
If he had one up by 5.
Are you done? Are you done?
Never. Oh no! Yeah. Do you think he had Ready, Willing, and Gable? That was a thing, wasn't it?
Here comes.
I feel like that must have been a shirt at some point. All right, sorry, I'll stop talking about Chad now.
The mastodon, the man they call Vader. I want to call him everything except for what he's known as.
I mean, he was the guy that if you were a fat kid in school, you had a pose to do. You know. Oh. I was one of those. I knew you were going there. Yeah, I was watching a match because it was pretty much the 30 years since. I think yesterday was 30 years since Clash of the Champions 26, and it was the Steiner brothers v Vader and Curtis Hughes, which was badass. And Vader's there doing like overhead suplexes and belly to belly suplex to the Steiners. I think, man, he was just treated like shit when he came in here. You know whose fault that was? You know whose fault that was?
I do not.
Heartbreak Kid didn't like him.
You know what? I don't care. I don't even care. I don't.
I mean, it didn't help the fact that he didn't wash his gear as well. So, Sean, I mean, that's a very valid point.
Nasty though. No, that is disgusting. Stinky. Okay. First of all, a man that size doing the minimal amount of cardio is going to be sweating.
Unless you're Prince Andrew.
Doesn't sweat. Famously doesn't sweat.
Doesn't sweat.
As most monsters don't.
Doesn't have any patronage, of that.
As most monsters, it always comes back to the royal family. Are you trying to get me going today? Because it's like so early here. The sun is just coming up, but I have time.
That's what she said. All of that. Don't have time. Come on, we've got meetings to go to. Man.
Just leave it.
Who the hell is that? I've got this with mute on. That's Doug Gilbert. Oh my God, these end up being Gilbert. Is it?
Yeah.
No, that was Dwayne Gill. Who the hell is Doug Gilbert?
Somebody.
Who the hell is Doug Gilbert?
What? You're having like a moment. I can see it.
Yeah, he was in ECW for a bit, and he's part of the Gil. He was like the lesser-known brother from the Gilbert family. Don't pretend like he's a famous guy.
No, I'm sorry. I think it's just because I've watched this Royal Rumble so many times that I remember Mr. Perfect like introducing him and saying he's the brother of Eddie Gilbert and stuff like that. So that stuck out to me.
Wow, a punch by Vader gets
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, but what's he doing in a Royal Rumble?
Listen, you see what they did? They were bringing people in from different promotions. They had Dory. They brought in the Gilbert guy. They were trying to open the, what is it? The forbidden door.
It can't have been. Cody hadn't built it by then.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a very fair point, Jack. I mean, that Japanese guy, where's he from? I'd never seen or heard of him before.
Takaya Amore. He was in All Japan Pro Wrestling. You telling me Bruce...
Japan.
Bruce Pritchard wanted to build a working relationship with All Japan. He didn't care. Vince didn't care.
Can I just say, like, it's so funny the way that they're like from Japan, and like back then, every Japanese wrestler used the exact same music that like they had used for Oriental Express previously.
Sounds like it sounds like it'd been like the background of a Chinese restaurant or something.
Yeah, exactly that one.
Panpipes. We are at the stage of what number are it now?
Who's coming next?
16.
In fact, this is so coming up next. We have squad team number one, and then squad team number 2 because no idea who that is. Why has he got his tongue out? Why has he got Road Warrior face paint?
D'Lo Brown's big brother.
Will you stop? But he has like the chic style boots on. He's like Abdullah the Butcher's son.
The Headhunters had a good run in ECW in like 97, I want to say. But, like, God, man. I suppose you're going to load it up in... Wait a minute. JJ, did you say, is it between 10 and 20 no one decent comes in?
No one decent comes in.
Right.
Look, I mean, obviously there's a couple of exceptions because the guy that comes in after squat team at number 2 is a legend, R.I.P.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh.
Well, no.
I just love everything about this Royal Rumble. And I mean, what is
that Doug Gilbert? Oh, what is he wearing? That's another one. You could see that on a Spoon's carpet in Burnley.
Yeah.
They say you will never ever go to Burnley in your life, and nor should you. You're too good for the place.
Oh wow! So this was actually the squat team's debut.
Really? Invaded Shucks by a minute.
Bye.
Debuted at the Royal Rumble. The Headhunters took part in the Royal Rumble match, identified as the squad team. The night after the Royal Rumble, they lost in a dark match. Briefly appeared on television as the Arabian Butchers in '97, managed by Jim Cornette, and that was it.
Yeah, they were just going to try anything, right? And if it didn't work, move on. It was almost treated like an old-fashioned territory. Look at this. Look at the anticipation of the crowd. Like, we've just had someone shit. We must get someone good now. Torso region.
Say that again.
I said, do you have a hairy chest? I imagine you to be like that. Aerodynamic. Nothing there.
No, there's some. There's some.
I
don't touch it.
I didn't know where that was going to go. I didn't know if you were going to take the shirt off.
He's going to whip his cock out. Not before the watershed.
Joe doesn't want to see that
Savio
again.
Vega. Calling spots very loudly there, Savio. Come on. God, they just didn't care.
Sorry, who's the guy in the corner that Yokozuna's just been thrown into?
Savio Vega.
Savio Vega, right, okay.
The barista.
The Savio Vega.
You know what? There's been slots where I've switched off. Where's Bret Hart at this period in time, Jack?
He is main eventing against The Undertaker.
Oh, of course he is. I'm so stupid.
And I'm pretty sure Diesel would cost Taker the match, which was set up there a WrestleMania match.
Spoilers.
And then it would happen again in the next. It would be Bret Hart versus Diesel in the next pay-per-view. And that's when Undertaker comes up the ring and drags it down.
Speaking of Diesel, Diesel's back, isn't he?
Big sexer. A game changer wrestling.
Game changer.
You know what? He looks amazing.
I think of you.
Will you just come?
Here he comes.
No.
Here he comes. Look at that.
You better save some of that energy for the ring, McMahon.
He's ready.
Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, Shawn Michaels.
And
Here we go.
up and down that front. I'm just a sexy.
Boys, you talk about resilience. Shawn Michaels was going to win a minute.
Angle version, 10 times better. Wow, Triple H is really selling out the corner.
Shawn Michaels in the
So,
I've got to keep an ear out because I've got food on the way. So
Owen Hart 17, Shawn Michaels in at 18. Despite the fact no one decent comes in between 10 and 20.
Well,
Well, you
stand
know.
corrected.
Well, you know.
We stand corrected. Well, Vader's lost his mask. It's anarchy at this point, guys.
Every mask for themselves.
He's like the juggernaut. When he loses his mask, he loses his powers.
I didn't think about it like that before. You could be on something.
oh my word.
Oh, and that's the
Taking
two
that
behemoths gone.
Wow. Just look at a
What a
show
guy.
of athleticism and strength from HBK.
And the crowd
one
going
else
bananas.
has that. No one.
Imagine,
No wonder why
imagine
his
getting
back.
that
he was
narcissistic that you went to
carrying
Vince
this company on his fucking back all
And you
those
were
years.
like-
Look at him.
and you were like, I need to eliminate Yokozuna and Vader both at the same time as soon as I get in. And Vince just went, I mean, that's
God damn, pal. Sounds like a great idea.
Who the hell else was going to do it?
Diesel? Bulldog? Sparky Plug?
Oh, no, my friend. It's Hakushi.
Bless you.
What?
Already with the
That's a something to wrestle joke. Whenever Conrad says Hakushi, Bruce being a...
Vader's coming back for blood.
Maybe that's where John Moxley got his inspiration. Well, he says it. He's thirsty. That freaked me out when he looked at the camera and went, I'm thirsty. It's like, okay. Calm
Did you
down.
hear the guy when Moxley quieted the crowd just before he spoke and the guy shouted,
Yeah, he's a fucking
"Get
piece
that
of
fucking
trash.
drunken piece of trash out the ring!"
Yeah, that guy is a jerk. I really hope that they removed him and that he's banned from all AEW shows. It was quiet as church in there for him to say that. He can go to hell.
Oh, well, Triple H has been eliminated by Vader.
Man who had already been eliminated.
But, so surely they should still remain.
Yeah.
Listen, it was 1996.
Oh, now it goes through the middle.
Through the ropes.
I just want consistency in my wrestling rules, guys.
Well, there's Gorilla Monsoon, who's the commissioner at the time, the president. Vader gets over the monster heel like a week or two after this because he just beats up. I think the next night on Raw, they have a big confrontation. That's when Vader attacks Gorilla Monsoon, which is like, that was huge at the time. Heinous behavior.
Heinous.
No officials were ever touched during this time.
Also, honorable mention, Gorilla with the whatever shade of blue those glasses were, lit.
Did he clear out the whole ring?
It's time to go, Vader. It's time to go.
Shawn Michaels going to hit Cornette.
Yeah, you see it?
And the camera's not even on it. There you go.
I know, Okay, Cornette's been that
was.
Cornette's been eliminated.
And then he fell on his ass on the apron as well.
Yeah, that was a hard one.
And like, obviously, because now I've got no context Corny on Twitter and Instagram. It's like 3,500 followers now.
That's some content for you right there.
That's a nice clip. Yeah, Corny despises Shawn Michaels. Despises him.
JJ has returned.
All these people who find God. Well, it's because no one else. When mere mortals won't make a deal with you and you've got to go to the afterlife, that's probably why. You've probably been a bit of a dick in your previous life. But them two had serious heat around this time.
I'm not addressing any of this. That's my new approach. I'm not addressing any bullshit when it comes to Shawn Michaels.
Lissy, for 2022, just no tea. No tea. Just serenity. Which means I need to try harder to wind you up.
I mean, it honestly just doesn't take much to wind me up, BT dubs. So just tread softly, my friends.
From all this bullshit. I mean, surely if we just mention like the name Brandy Rhodes, you're going to get hot.
It's not even that
I will get hot. She is. Wow.
It's not even that I get hot. JJ gets hot enough for all three of us, so don't get him started.
So our most recent upload on Mainly Wrestling is who did Lissy vote Rookie of the Year? 3 views. Lissy, you've got to plug that. You've got to get that everywhere. I'll let you sit down on later.
What was this on with Jade?
I reckon if we post on Twitter and if post on Instagram, tag Jade, she'd get a nice push for us.
Who's this?
Aldo Montoya.
Aldo Montoya.
He's a Portuguese soccer player.
Right.
Yeah.
With the mask around his face.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Jade's replied to one of our tweets before, Mainly Wrestling, right?
She's retweeted something, on Twitter. Yeah. I liked it, yeah. I tell you what, I got my Flair account got a retweet from Kendra Lust yesterday, which is quite pleased about.
You slide into the DMs?
I did not. I've listened to a podcast and she says, do you either of you listen to the Renee's podcast, Oral Sessions?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Very good, yeah. I heard her on there and she's a huge wrestling fan. When she was a kid in the 80s, I think she said when Sergeant Slaughter beat Ultimate Warrior, when Hogan lost, she's there crying. Like, she's very much a girl onto Lissy's heart, brought up in a male-dominated household, so you've got to like wrestling. But she says you would no idea how busy that DM box is with people that would surprise you.
Really?
And Renee was like, how many athletes are in there? He goes, well, how do you define athlete? Well.
Who are we talking about?
Kendra Lust. She's a porn star, Lissy.
Oh.
Right, here's Lissy. Oh, I've never heard of her. What do you mean? Who is this?
No, I don't know who she is, but this is a family show, guys. Let's keep going.
This is a family show? Since when? We're not PG Punk. We're 2010 Punk.
This is a PG show, Pete.
She released a graphic yesterday saying Kendra Lust is all elite, so everyone thought she was going to show up last night on Dynamite. She might have done. I'm only halfway through.
No, sorry, she was here.
Can't say she did, mate.
She was there? Doing what? Help feeding doing your 5 o'clock feeds. Yeah, do you still get up and do a feed? You hung over it. Silly o'clock.
I didn't. There was no feed last night. Penny didn't wake up.
That was her gift to
so
you.
It's Big Daddy Cole. If you want the Spanish for that, Happy Chulo. Happy Chulo. Wait, no.
He wants to go to WrestleMania and become the WWF champion all over again.
Yeah, Happy's daddy, yeah. I think Diesel comes in and pretty much eliminates everyone.
Back here in the 1996 WWF Royal Rumble.
I used to love Diesel. I used to have such a hard time between him and Shawn.
Diesel in at number 22.
See you later, Shawn. Spark Plug is still in the ring, I think he's got a real good chance of winning this thing.
I mean, he's got to be getting the MVP award, right? He's been around forever.
Well, Hunter was number one in Houston, right?
Shout out to Bob Holly.
This is some sport for Hunter. I mean, spoiler, Hunter gets eliminated by, I can't remember, Triple H gets eliminated by Diesel around this time. And he's in there for 48 minutes after when he gets thrown out.
Yeah.
This is, you know what? But you know what the stat is? He only made one elimination in those 48 minutes.
Whoa.
Do you think this is the clique flexing their muscles? He's now one of them. Oh, wow, Shawn is showing his tremendous core strength.
All I saw was Diesel's pulling off Bob Holly, and
I beg your pardon?
That's what it said.
Help!
I can't believe Lissy even mildly saying that this was a family show. What families sit around and watch this podcast?
No one.
Well, guys, come on.
No one in general.
Is that time of the week?
The whole train's here, boys.
He's the shoot fighter around this time.
The fighting machine. Formerly known as Papa Shango.
Papa Shango scared the shit out of me as a kid. That was,
my God, he was so scary.
That was one where, and that was nightmares.
The Bone Street crew will come in and fuck up the click, don't you worry about it.
They should do as well, if they've got any sense.
Yeah, but see, I think that he's a really good story for, okay, he had the Papa Shango gimmick, and then he had this thing going on for some time, and then they came back and rebranded him, third time's the charm, as the Godfather, and then he had the best run of his life. So some of the stuff stuck, guys, relax.
What is your favourite match of the Godfathers?
I don't have one.
Okay.
Is that kind of true, JJ? I think JJ said that kind of knowing.
I rest my case.
Thank you.
You don't have to have a favorite match. He was just he provided good entertainment during the Attitude Era.
He provided women for sexual services for money. That's what he provided.
That was his job.
Sex workers got to make a living too, JJ. Let's not discriminate now.
It's called the oldest profession for a reason.
I feel like the Godfather takes too much of the pie, you know? I just want them to be compensated fairly for the jobs that they do. I mean, he was pulling fat men out of the crowd, like giving them away for free. I'm like, come on, man.
Are you trying to say that the whole should unionize? Is that what you're inferring?
Yeah.
Unionize.
Yeah. So JJ's in favor of, what would you call it? The hose union?
Let me spend some time on this.
Okay.
Oh, the prostitution. That work?
Guess
no. Alright, the ringmaster's here though, don't worry guys.
Here's one.
Oh, the ringmaster. He's the winner right there, McMahon. Sick him.
So Steve has finally nearly collated debut in the last week on Raw. So you'll see, he was supposed to be in the final four, and it goes horribly wrong for him. I think it was something with camera, or so, he said that he was supposed to be in there. He basically, I think 6 weeks, 2 months.
It wasn't long.
And
$1 billion champion.
He just wasn't waiting. God damn, Vince, this gimmick's the shits. I'm never going to get over.
That was not gruff enough. Come on.
I mean, it really
God damn, pal. God damn, Vince. I can't get text accent.
That was good. God damn, pal. Nah, that was too Vince, to be honest with you.
Oh, he said, I'm right. Okay.
There goes Bobby.
Oh.
Are you okay?
Give us a time check, Lissy, for those watching at home.
Okay, time check. 1:44, 47, 48, 49.
You're ahead of me.
Well, I think there's a difference between the cock and whatever you guys
whatever JJ has.
Yeah. There's a slight difference. Oh my God. Leave the man alone. The knee to the back.
Looked like Holly went through the middle rope. I don't know.
You do it, do you?
You know what? Let's
It's your boy.
Revise it.
Barry.
Wait to that music. I got my this is Jewish. Right, okay.
If a nerd ends up
Wow.
at WrestleMania against the Pro
That's
Wrestling Federation champion, I'm getting back in the ring.
Oh, see, so yeah, you guys are okay. How are
In any
you?
event, we have right now Big Daddy Cool
We
Diesel in there. And
Yeah,
of
but I
course,
didn't
Barry
quite
Horowitz,
do
who's
that. So,
been in
because
all-
his name is Barry Horowitz, he had to come out to some generic Jewish music. Is that correct?
I think that was part of his gimmick, yes.
Just like
He was
Goldberg.
Jewish.
You had Savio Vega from Puerto Rico. Barry Horowitz was Jewish. Aldo Montoya was Portuguese.
He was a soccer player, and he was a man of war.
Do you know what a Portuguese man of war is?
Do you reckon Vince McMahon just got like Vince finally got given an atlas or something, and then maybe like a thesaurus of the world starts searching for all these countries? We need representation, pal.
I don't know.
I have no idea because we've got a Japanese guy in there, Barry Horowitz.
Yes. International.
International, yeah. The Canadians in there.
Yeah, international.
Well, his name is Barry Horowitz. Of course, he's Jewish. Of course, he is.
Yeah, I mean, I think doesn't he have like a Star of David on his trunks?
Because he is a star.
Our guy has just been eliminated, guys.
Who?
Okay.
Hunter. Hasta.
The slimline hunter.
Hasta luego, amigo.
Bye.
Steve throwing some great working punch in the corner on HBK.
Yeah.
What a guy.
I may just watching the Flair's promo from the Royal Rumble 92 on the side again because it's that damn good. Who the hell is that?
It's Fatu.
Is that foul shit? Jesus. Oh my God. How did Vince allow these people on television? What is going on?
Okay, so this.
Is that Rikishi?
Yes.
That's who I thought it was.
I know. Rikishi's name is Junior Fatu.
Okay.
Will we just wait 1 second? So remember, he was part of the Head Shrinkers. That group disbanded. A few months later, they repackaged him. He came back as Fatu. He was making vignettes in the streets, making a difference. That was his.
Yeah, yeah, it's in the community.
Mate.
Oh my God. And then at the Rumble 12 months later, he was the Sultan dressed up like do you know how Karrion Kross was?
Yeah.
He was dressed up in that pretty much the same mask.
This is another example of a few different tries and then stuck with it. And then he became Rikishi, who is an iconic character of the late
iconic.
That I will agree with. And you can actually name Rikishi matches that you enjoyed, I'm sure. All of us can.
I mean,
I also it was kind of random the way that they paired them with Too Cool, but it worked.
It wasn't, was it? He just so happened to come out at a Rumble at the right spot. And when they danced together, everyone went, wow, that was actually quite funny. Let's go with it.
That's all it took, buddy.
Such a happy accident.
He put on a hell of a lot of weight in the 2 years after this, man, because when he was Rikishi Fatu with Too Cool, man, he was a big man. Big man.
Oh, yeah.
And Vince just found it hilarious, him doing the stink face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, loved it.
Look at that fat ass. Rubbing in people's faces. Goddamn, pal, that's good shit.
What is happening?
We're in the last few of the Rumble. Barry fucking Horowitz is there. Who's this?
This is Kane.
Another example of someone, takes a few tries until you get there.
Speaking of dark, you ever get a look at this man?
Look at the Dennis drums.
This guy can do some damage. He certainly can. We saw that recently with the man he's going to work on right now, Big Daddy Cool Diesel. We also saw the Undertaker.
Sorry about it.
Eliminated. Good night.
Thank you, JJ. This is another example. He was fake Diesel. He was Anthem, and then he became
Shawn Michaels. He kicked him right in the
back.
You forgot to mention his greatest. Mayor.
He was the
You forgot to mention.
That was in, I think, Smoky Mountain.
Okay.
You failed to mention his greatest gimmick, the mayor of Knoxville County.
You know what? And he's killing it. Thank you very much. But I think that's a theme that you can see from this time, right? Like they had the people, they weren't packaging them right, and then they got it right, and then over the next couple of years.
So the people doing the booking, Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, were not the right ones to get these clear the most out of them. And they just so happen to be in charge again right now. So, good luck in 2022 WWE. Hopefully, we might see Chad Gable break out with a new gimmick.
Yo.
Do you know what, though? He doesn't even need a gimmick, does he, right? I mean, just like strip everything back, put him in the ring. He'd be on Daniel Bryan level in no time. I'm talking like WWE Daniel Bryan. That's right. He's
going to change his name, isn't he?
He's good enough.
They're going to change it to just Chad soon.
Well, Gable Stevenson has been signed up by WWE, right? Gable Stevenson won the Olympic gold medal for America in wrestling.
And it's going to be too confusing, is it? Can't have
Vince won't let anyone have the same name.
You know what? They can make a tag team and they can be Gable and Gable.
But they don't look alike.
The Gables.
The Gables.
One having like the Dudley Boys.
I didn't say Gable,
here we
not
have
Boys.
Entering one of the greatest intercontinental champions of all time, Marty Jannetty. When you think of the Intercontinental belt, don't you just think of Marty Jannetty? Don't you?
Brett.
I'm just kidding.
Brett, Owen.
Marty, the Mountie. Who else?
That's a little bit before. Yeah, that's a bit before my time. I think of Brett, Owen, The Rock. The Rock for me. That was around my peak fandom. The Rock held it for a good part of like pretty much the first 8 months of '98, didn't it? That really made him.
I think of Shawn and I think of Scott Hall.
Yeah, Scott Hall's a good show. I mean, that's clearly what they're doing with Sammy and Cody. They're copying's the wrong term. Shawn and Razor from '94 with both belts above the ring. WrestleMania 10. What? I'm not saying that in a bad way. Why are you being defensive?
I didn't say anything.
Turn into the Undertaker.
Actually, my niece does that when she sleeps all the time, and like I play the Undertaker music. It's the cutest.
I was saying that to JJ the other week. It's so scary when you just see him like this sleeping down Sunday.
They're just laying there, eyes rolling back. It's like,
George, you're right there, pal. What are you dreaming about? Oh, Vera. Oh, yes. See, Marty Jannetty is kind of. Have you seen the stories about Marty Jannetty on Facebook?
You know what? Why don't you enlighten us, Jack? I love when you tell stories.
I mean, he's kind of come out and said like him and Shawn they got into a lot of no good. Is that the best way of phrasing it without risking a lawsuit? Here's the Bulldog, by the way. Big star here in '96.
Buzz cut, looking amazing.
But I don't like those pants on him.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know
a bit frilly.
He did in '96. Remember, like he switched to like the long pants look, and he had the little tassels going. I always liked him in the short tights. I
liked him in the trunks, yeah.
But I mean, we're not going to make a CM Punk type of deal out of this. And they always show his wife. Always show his wife.
Lady Di.
I mean, if Lissy's not going to stop you there, I'll have to because I mean that's just.
How dare you?
That's slanderous.
That's her name.
No, her name is Diana. Okay, right. You don't have to put the lady in front of it.
She's a lady.
Diana, a lady, versus Lady Diana. Don't get us. Don't. It's too early, guys. It's not even 8 a.m. yet. My day hasn't even started. I can't go on a rant yet. Look at Shawn. His hair.
At least you're able to distinguish days. We're just up every 3 or 4 hours. We're just people holding bottles and writing emails.
I mean, the latter I do for the rest of the day.
You're just a lady of leisure, out 3-4 nights a week for dinner, sushi night on a Tuesday, yada yada yada.
You know, I've been called a woman of leisure before, and I was being called that in a nice way.
A woman of leisure.
Yeah, I
would love to be a woman of leisure.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was once.
I'd love to be
that was someone's way of saying that I'm high maintenance.
What?
I've never heard that.
No, I think that was this person that I'm talking about. We will not say this person's name, but I think that was this person's way of trying to say that I'm high maintenance. No, not no one. I get it. No one.
Listen, person, if you're watching, you're wrong.
Is
Lissy knows who she is and what she wants, yeah?
That's right.
And if what you might call high maintenance, I call self-worth. So take that.
My man, JJ.
JJ is going to be on the This Morning Catch tomorrow.
You know what, JJ? Text me your address because you are getting that Chad Gable t-shirt for Valentine's Day.
Come on.
If I mail it today, it might be here by March.
Talk about incentivizing your workforce. Yeah, exactly. It takes 3 months to get it, unless you order it from 80s wrestling store. And listen, you know them t-shirts come through in just weeks.
A very short and swift delivery, might I say.
Hey, that's what I give to all the girls. Anyway, I think we've got Duke the Jobs of Josie in here now. Are we through?
In.
Number 30. Yep. They're all in. One of these girls has to win it.
This is it. It's happening.
Wait, where did Austin go?
He's out of there, buddy.
Out of there.
I've not been watching for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he got eliminated by Fatu.
That was the fuck up, presumably. Oh, big drop kick, and Kane's gone.
It's time. Final 4 time, baby.
Wow.
Duke's out. Let's do it.
I gotta say,
Karma, Diesel, Bulldog, HBK.
Well, just this is.
When you get to most Final Fours these days, they're all world champions, aren't they?
Yeah, and Randy Orton is there every time. Don't you
remember
forget
that year when
either.
Santino Morella was in the last 2? Oh my good lord.
Yeah, that was true.
I don't know. I don't.
And I thought he was going to do it. I was like, go on, Santino, lad. Made him at WrestleMania.
Go on, lad.
I mean, fair play to him for making me believe. I can't remember who
Down
it was again.
to, look at it.
No. Easy as you like.
Diesel sells that really well, in fairness.
2 years in a row.
All credit. And you should be applauded for that, Lissy. Because not many other people would have done.
I mean, but you guys have to think about it. During a time like this, I was a 5, 6, 7-year-old kid. So,
Steps fans.
Huh?
So that was almost one for the Steps fans out there.
5,
yeah.
6, 7.
So, when you're a kid, you're looking at it with different eyes. If we were the age that we are now, what the hell, guys? If we were the age we are now watching content like this, we probably would be talking shit the way that you guys have been going on for the last hour and 15 minutes.
How dare you? I'm objective. I'm as objective as Bobby the Brain Heenan.
You are not objective.
Well, yes,
you are ready to put Shawn down at a moment's notice.
Doesn't sound like something I'd do.
Man was carrying this company on his back at the time, literally.
Do you want to say that to Taker or?
I'll say it to anybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are you rating?
Brandy now, blimey.
What are you rating this pay-per-view, Lissy? I'm curious.
You know what? I'm not even going to subject myself to this.
You were just enjoying the nostalgia from your childhood of really being cheering for Shawn all over again.
Thank you. Because JJ's going to come in and he's going to be like, it was a C- for me, mate.
It gets a 4 out of 10 for me. And do you know what? I'm actually going to bump the 92 Rumble up to 8.5 out of 10 for the 92
Oh, he's
Rumble.
revising the 92 based off of this.
Yeah, I've had to bump that up to an 8.5.
Because it's the grading curve.
Exactly.
So the grading curve has come into effect.
And the thing is as well, the aftermath, you've got Shawn showing his ass, and you've got Flair cutting one of the best promos of all time with Bobby the Brain Heenan and Mr. Perfect, and Gene just being Gene. Put that cigarette out.
He said, Shawn showing his ass. You know what? Everyone in attendance really enjoyed it. I can speak for them. Okay.
The punters went home happy, which is the main thing.
Yes.
Which is the main thing. Right,
speaking of going home, I've got to get out of here.
JJ, just before we wrap things up, we're going to be watching the Rumble from 2010 next.
2010, CM Punk doing bits.
What are your expectations, or can you give people who haven't... People might have tuned out the product by then. Let them know what they're in for.
Yeah, look, I really can't because I've got a meeting to go to, but watch our last episode and you'll see me talk about it. So, there you go.
That was a Royal Rumble 1996 where Lissy, a bit like Shawn Michaels, had the boyhood dreams. So thank you for that. We'll be back next week with Rumble 2020. She's Lissy Almeida, he's John Jacobs, and I'm Jack Milner. It's right for now.